Sports Pro, Caitlin Clark is the fourth most marketable athlete in the world. Yeah, not just female athlete, not just in the United States, but in the entire world.
The Wnba is completely losing its mind right now because Caitlin Clark has just triggered a massive commercial explosion that is leaving critics totally speechless. Rumors are spreading fast about a groundbreaking corporate alliance connected to a $13 billion retail giant, completely shattering the traditional endorsement playbook. While skeptics are absolutely fuming over the unprecedented global marketability of Caitlin Clark is proving to move products faster than anyone since Michael Jordan. Every single limited edition merchandise drop featuring Caitlin Clark sells out in mere minutes, leaving major apparel companies scrambling behind closed doors. But beneath the surface of these historic business wins, a massive corporate controversy is brewing that threatens to tear the league's hierarchy apart.
How? In what way? What does she sell out tens of thousands of Wilson basketballs in 40 minutes? I mean, what has A'ja Wilson done to say that she is worth every penny and then?
Some of the biggest brands in sports history are making shocking decisions around Caitlin Clark that have insiders completely baffled. You will not believe the hidden drama unfolding in these boardroom meetings, or how other league superstars are reacting to the news. According to recent market reports by Sports Pro, Caitlin Clark is currently ranked as the fourth most marketable athlete in the entire world. Take a second to fully process the sheer magnitude of that statement. This elite ranking does not mean Caitlin Clark is just the fourth most marketable female athlete, or simply the fourth most marketable basketball player in the United States. No, this metric means that on the entire planet, across every single sport imaginable, Caitlin Clark commands a level of consumer attention that places Caitlin Clark right alongside icons like LeBron James and soccer phenom Vinicius Jr. This unprecedented level of global marketability has completely disrupted the traditional sports business landscape. The corporate world is completely shocked by how quickly Caitlin Clark can shift consumer behavior. What Caitlin Clark just accomplished off the hardwood goes far beyond signing a standard endorsement contract. Caitlin Clark has completely rewritten the entire economic playbook for professional women's sports. Rumors are spreading fast about a massive, groundbreaking corporate alliance involving Caitlin Clark that is connected to Wnba, a Midwest retail giant that brings in over $13 billion in annual revenue. While the details of this mega collaboration circulate through corporate boardrooms, critics are absolutely fuming over the sheer financial scale of the momentum behind Caitlin Clark. This massive arrangement has triggered an unprecedented corporate wave, and things are starting to get incredibly intriguing as the rest of the league watches the wealth gap widen. You will not believe how some veteran WNBA players are reacting behind the scenes to this potentially game-changing retail arrangement. The immediate corporate impact generated by Caitlin Clark is something sports marketing experts have rarely witnessed in modern history. To find a true historical parallel to this kind of product movement, you have to look outside of women's basketball entirely. When Wilson Sporting Goods decided to sign Caitlin Clark to a historic, multi-year endorsement deal, the manufacturing company made a bold decision that they had only ever executed once before. Wilson Sporting Goods took a significant corporate risk by giving Caitlin Clark her very own signature basketball collection. This specific type of brand treatment had not been seen since the sporting goods giant partnered with Michael Jordan back in the 1980s. By placing Caitlin Clark in the exact same marketing tier as Michael Jordan, the brand completely elevated the financial ceiling of women's sports. As soon as the partnership between Caitlin Clark and Wilson Sporting Goods was formally announced to the public, social media networks completely erupted with intense debates. The corporate head of global partnerships at Wilson openly admitted that the company had not executed a contract of this immense magnitude since working with Michael Jordan decades ago. The brand knew the potential was there, but nobody was truly prepared for what happened next. The moment the first signature basketball inspired by Caitlin Clark was officially released online, tens of thousands of products vanished in an instant. The entire inventory sold out completely in under 40 minutes, leaving a massive digital waiting list of fans empty-handed. This jaw-dropping consumer response proved that Caitlin Clark possesses an undeniable, rare ability to move merchandise at a legendary clip. This historic level of consumer demand is exactly why a $13 billion corporate giant like Wnba is giving Caitlin Clark their complete, undivided attention. The massive supermarket chain isn't just lazily writing the name of Caitlin Clark on a standard cereal box and calling it a day. Instead, Wnba is teaming up with Wilson to launch an exclusive, highly anticipated product drop featuring the specialized Dreamer and Tribute basketballs designed specifically for Caitlin Clark. This massive corporate squad is building a retail empire off the court that is entirely separate from the standard league marketing channels. The collaboration is setting an entirely new baseline for how elite female athletes interact with massive Fortune 500 corporations. But this historic business relationship between Caitlin Clark and Wnba is built on a foundation of long-term loyalty that dates back to her college days. Long before Caitlin Clark became a household name in the professional ranks, the retail chain supported her collegiate journey at every single turn. When Caitlin Clark shattered the all-time scoring record at Iowa, Wnba celebrated the achievement by donating over $35,000 directly to the Caitlin Clark Foundation. The exact donation amount was a direct reflection of the 3,569 historic points scored by Caitlin Clark during her legendary collegiate career. This deeply personal approach to corporate branding ensures that every product hitting the shelves actually tells a meaningful piece of the life story of Caitlin Clark. This authentic storytelling model is a major reason why Caitlin Clark stands completely alone as the only WNBA player ranked in the top 20 of global marketability. While other phenomenal athletes focus strictly on localized team deals, Caitlin Clark is systematically capturing massive corporate boardrooms on an international scale. This massive commercial success has created an environment where other sports apparel entities are being forced to reevaluate their entire marketing strategy. The massive corporate numbers surrounding Caitlin Clark are forcing rival brands to take massive risks just to keep pace with the crazy momentum. Yet, while smaller retail entities are moving fast to cash in on the star power of Caitlin Clark, a massive apparel giant is currently facing intense public scrutiny. Fans are starting to ask major questions about why Nike seems to be completely missing the boat on their own blockbuster deal. Nike previously signed Caitlin Clark to a highly publicized, multi-million-dollar endorsement contract that left fans expecting a massive global marketing push. However, as the months roll by, the sports apparel giant has remained completely silent, leaving supporters incredibly confused. The total lack of commercial promotion from Nike has created an absolute storm of controversy across the basketball community. Supporters are pointing out that despite a staggering 500% rise in jersey sales for Caitlin Clark, the brand has not produced a single commercial or billboard. Even worse, there is still absolutely no sign of a highly anticipated signature shoe for Caitlin Clark anywhere on the market. Industry insiders are completely perplexed as to why the largest sports brand in the world would choose to keep Caitlin Clark sidelined during her most historic season. This massive corporate disconnect is rapidly creating a highly volatile situation behind the scenes. The complete absence of a signature sneaker line for Caitlin Clark has ignited a massive debate across the sports marketing industry. While rivals like Wilson Sporting Goods cash in on the explosive popularity of Caitlin Clark by rolling out multiple limited edition product drops, Nike continues to face heavy criticism for keeping Caitlin Clark parked in the corporate garage. Fans are openly pointing out the sheer absurdity of the situation, especially when looking at how other young talents are being handled. For instance, Paige Bueckers recently secured her very own signature shoe deal, a move that left supporters of Caitlin Clark incredibly vocal about the apparent double standard. Industry insiders find it completely mind-blowing that a player driving a 500% surge in retail merchandise demand is still waiting for her own premier sneaker line to hit the shelves. This glaring corporate delay has given rise to intense rumors regarding the internal politics dictating the marketing strategies at Nike. Highly publicized reports suggest that executive decision-makers at Nike are intentionally prioritizing the established product lines of veteran stars like Aya Wilson over the immediate commercial power of Caitlin Clark. According to these industry leaks, corporate executives heavily fear the negative public optics of awarding a spectacular signature shoe to a younger superstar before taking care of an already established veteran icon who just captured her third league MVP award. This complex internal hierarchy has left the brand stuck in a state of operational paralysis, trying to balance traditional locker room respect against unprecedented consumer demand. This delicate corporate balancing act raises an incredibly fascinating question regarding the true nature of athletic marketability in the modern era. While Aya Wilson is undeniably recognized by purists as the most dominant, skilled basketball player currently competing in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark has firmly established herself as the undisputed commercial face of the entire league. Marketing experts have openly speculated that if Aya Wilson and Caitlin Clark were to drop their respective signature sneakers on the exact same afternoon, the product tied to Caitlin Clark would easily outsell the veteran's release by an astronomical margin. This sharp contrast between pure on-court accolades and raw, product-moving star power has created an incredibly tense atmosphere within the basketball community. The entire situation has transformed into an absolute embarrassment for the premier sports apparel brand, with millions of passionate consumers ready to spend their money on anything connected to Caitlin Clark. Every single afternoon that passes without an official sneaker announcement is viewed by financial analysts as a massive, irreversible loss of revenue in the lightning-fast world of retail marketing. It is a completely unprecedented corporate scenario where a multi-billion-dollar entity holds the rights to the most attractive, high-momentum athlete on the planet, yet chooses to treat that asset like a luxury sports car hidden away in a storage unit. This profound marketing failure has forced the management team representing Caitlin Clark to seriously question the long-term validity of the contract they originally signed. While Nike remains completely silent, other league figures are making major corporate moves that many believe are a direct response to the massive commercial waves surrounding Caitlin Clark. In a highly publicized development, Aya Wilson recently finalized a lucrative 6-year contract extension with Nike right after securing her latest MVP trophy. This massive announcement immediately triggered a wave of skeptical commentary across social media platforms, with intense detractors labeling the sudden veteran extension a desperate corporate strategy to counter the unmatched commercial gravity of Caitlin Clark. A vocal segment of the fan base openly questioned whether the latest MVP award given to Aya Wilson was heavily driven by a defensive media campaign rather than pure, unmitigated merit. This deep fracture within the WNBA community highlights how deeply polarized the professional landscape has become since Caitlin Clark entered the league. The establishment appears to be actively working to protect its traditional hierarchy, while the raw economic numbers generated by Caitlin Clark continue to shatter every single barrier in its path. Traditional purists are fighting tooth and nail to keep the focus on veteran achievements, but the global consumer market is making it abundantly clear that Caitlin Clark commands the narrative. This ongoing collision between institutional pride and a massive, fan-driven economic boom is pushing the entire sport toward an explosive tipping point. The underlying corporate envy is becoming increasingly difficult to hide as the retail success of Caitlin Clark continues to dominate national business headlines. Every time a new limited edition basketball featuring Caitlin Clark sells out in a matter of minutes, it serves as a stark reminder of the massive financial gap existing between her and her peers. The fact that a regional supermarket chain like Wnba can orchestrate a more creative, highly lucrative marketing campaign for Caitlin Clark than the largest athletic brand in human history is a testament to her unique draw. It proves that the old ways of marketing female athletes are completely obsolete, and the corporations that refuse to adapt are going to be left completely behind. As this massive business drama continues to unfold behind closed doors, the pressure on the league office to manage these internal rivalries is reaching an all-time high. The veterans are growing increasingly frustrated by the overwhelming corporate focus directed toward Caitlin Clark, while the fans of Caitlin Clark are demanding the absolute breakdown of the old guard. This intense friction isn't just confined to sneaker deals and retail partnerships, it is actively spilling over into how the games are officiated, how the media covers individual rivalries, and how the players interact on the court. The corporate boardroom has officially become a high-stakes battlefield where the ultimate future of the sport is being decided in real time, and the momentum belongs entirely to Caitlin Clark. The immense pressure on Nike from retail experts and active fans has finally driven the corporate athletic giant to make an official move regarding Caitlin Clark. While critics were previously fuming over the apparent marketing delays, the brand has finally broken its silence by announcing the highly anticipated launch date for the premier signature shoe line belonging to Caitlin Clark. Sports business analysts are reporting that the official release of the Nike Caitlin 1 is locked in for October 1, 2026, creating a massive wave of anticipation across the entire retail landscape. The first official colorway to hit the public market will be the stunning Racer Blue, a design choice that is already generating intense digital buzz among major sneaker collectors. To make sure that fans of all ages can celebrate the legacy of Caitlin Clark, Nike is rolling out the specialized basketball shoe in a full range of family sizes, with adult pairs priced at $140. This strategic corporate rollout proves that Nike is finally treating Caitlin Clark like a premier Tier 1 athlete, moving past the internal administrative hesitations that previously held the brand back. Sneaker insiders have revealed that the technical blueprint of the upcoming shoe is heavily influenced by the legendary Nike Kobe line, which is the exact performance footwear Caitlin Clark chose to wear during her record-breaking collegiate and professional games. The specific design features an advanced Nike Opticast upper, which utilizes a specialized layout of cast PU nodes that are explicitly engineered to lower overall drag while maximizing on-court movement efficiency for Caitlin Clark. The beautiful textured visual patterns on the upper body are directly inspired by the flowing geometric ripple of the three-point arc, pay homage to the deep-range shooting style that made Caitlin Clark a global phenomenon. The corporate stakes surrounding the October launch are incredibly high, as Nike is simultaneously pairing the Racer Blue sneaker release with a massive lifestyle collection consisting of 18 distinct apparel items. By dropping a complete wardrobe ecosystem on the exact same afternoon, the corporate apparel giant is attempting to fully dominate the sports merchandise market ahead of the lucrative winter holiday season. Financial experts predict that the initial product batches tied to Caitlin Clark will experience historical sellout times, potentially challenging the retail records set by elite men's basketball signatures over the past 2 decades. The brand is also preparing a second major colorway dubbed Yellow Zest to land in retail locations during the late 2026 holiday window, ensuring that the commercial momentum remains at an all-time high throughout the entire calendar year. However, this massive victory for Caitlin Clark has done little to calm the deep-seated rivalries simmering within the professional women's basketball community. The sudden confirmation of the signature line for Caitlin Clark has immediately intensified the competitive corporate battle lines between the major sneaker brands. Rivals like Puma are continuing to heavily push their established product lines with Breanna Stewart, while Reebok is aggressively executing major marketing campaigns centered around Angel Reese to protect their respective shares of the consumer market. The fact that Caitlin Clark managed to secure an 8-year, $28 million contract with Nike ensures that her long-term financial footprint will continue to tower over the vast majority of her professional peers. This glaring economic disparity keeps the general locker room environment incredibly tense, as veteran players watch the historic promotional spotlight center almost exclusively around a single superstar. While the sneaker world braces for the incoming retail storm, the established partnership between Caitlin Clark and the $13 billion corporate giant Wnba continues to prove how deep her commercial roots run. Critics who initially dismissed the regional supermarket alliance as a small-scale endorsement have been forced to eat their words as the massive retail numbers come to light. The exclusive charitable campaigns launched by Wnba, including the highly successful Caitlin's Crunch Time cereal drive, have officially generated more than $500,000 in total funding for the Caitlin Clark Foundation. This phenomenal level of community funding has allowed Caitlin Clark to actively combat childhood hunger and expand educational sports programs across multiple states in the Midwest. The grocery giant was actually the very first corporate entity to sign Caitlin Clark to a historic name, image, and likeness partnership all the way back in 2021, and that early institutional loyalty is paying massive dividends today. The incredible commercial triumph of Caitlin Clark proves that modern athletic marketability is no longer dictated by traditional corporate networks. By forcing a global superpower like Nike to completely reshape its operational timeline while simultaneously maintaining deep, lucrative community roots with massive regional partners like Wnba, Caitlin Clark has constructed an unassailable economic empire. The ultimate corporate reality is that Caitlin Clark has successfully bridged the gap between raw performance culture and mainstream consumer lifestyle. When the Nike Caitlin 1 finally hits retail shelves, it will represent far more than just a successful product launch. It will stand as an absolute monument to a cultural shift where a female basketball icon can command the exact same level of economic devotion, media hype, and global corporate investment as the greatest names to ever play the game. The corporate playbook has been permanently rewritten, and the rest of the sporting world is simply trying to keep up. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get a massive debate going about the ultimate future of the sport, the power of signature shoe lines, and whether the old guard can successfully withstand this unprecedented retail storm. Don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you never miss another exclusive deep dive into the high-stakes world of sports business, cultural shifts, and elite athletic empires. We will see you in the next one.